Good morning, happy Monday. I'm doing everything in the weird wrong order. You Switching over the signs, starting the stream with, with this screen up, but it's all good. Everything's all good. It is a Monday though. That means just being tired, right? Okay, so um, yesterday we sort of began planning a brand new project. It's going to be a Pitfall clone style game, and we I created two sort of tech demo applications to send to my parents. So my parents are going to be the reason that I'm building this application. They are This is going to be actually a gift for my father, and so he has two devices that we can target for this. One an iOS phone. I don't know which one it is, and I don't think he has an iPad. I'll have to double check. And then the other one is he has Windows a Windows notebook. So I sent him a GGEZ release build. All he had to do was download the executable. I put that into a zip file and then run that. Um, Unfortunately, he has Norton antivirus on his system. So a combination of us not code signing the executable and Norton antivirus, and basically, even if he got past Norton antivirus, he'd still have to get to the, oh, this is a dangerous executable, you can't run this. Then you have to basically give me more info, run anyways. Um, with Norton, however, it auto deleted the executable. Like it just removed it automatically, and so I'd have to go through, figure out how in their specific um, in their specific case, like where did it delete it to, or what's the anti-quarantine rules for Norton, and then teach them to undo that. But the danger there is if I did that, they might start doing that for other things, which could be that could lead to them opening up applications that I don't want to. So I don't want them to get them into the habit of doing that just because oh, this download looked nice. Let's go ahead and do that. So I don't really think we have a choice anymore. It's gonna be web-based solution. Uh, so that means WebAssembly, and that's still gonna be good because we're still gonna be able to use Rust for this. Stacking, hello. That's a song name. Did I miss it? I mean, that's still a good song name. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, that is that is a song name. Also, hello. The song name was 24.99. I was looking at it going huh. And then the previous one was free. That's a that's a really interesting series of song names there. All right. Hello, Stacking. Hello, everyone else who's here and lurking. Hope you're having a great Monday so far. My tea is finished brewing, which means I might wake up soon. I did not have. I forgot that all of my larger mugs are in the dishwasher, dirty, and needs to be we need to run that. I didn't run that last night, so I have a small mug today. I put the same amount of tea in, so it's just gonna be double strength now. We'll see. Went from free to 24.99. This guy tries a hard price fast. Yes, I think we're gonna have another song title is gonna be 300. All right, so we had a conversation um, in Discord in general last night, just a little bit about what the what the code signing and all that fun and what that really means to us. So I guess as a brief introduction, code signing is where we um, we developers purchase a certificate. Now, I looked at Let's Encrypt to see whether or not they provided code signing certificates. They say by design, they never really wanted to touch that. Their code, they don't have code signing certificates. They have certificates for web-based TLS. So that's great and all for web servers, and unfortunately isn't that great for us if we're trying to do any kind of desktop build type stuff. Apparently, several years ago, there were some companies providing free certificates for code signing for open source projects. Apparently, that became too expensive for them, and so they rescinded that product, which means now that the cheapest option that I could find with a quick Google search last night was $129 per year. That would if you do that, then you can use that certificate to run a code sign tool, which Microsoft provides for free, on any executable or DLL library or anything else. And then I could hand that executable over to anybody, and it'll be done and ready to go. And the computer, any Microsoft product won't yell at them. I would also be able to code sign for Mac, and I probably Linux. If I don't even know if anybody cares about code sign on Linux, but I could definitely do Mac then to it at the same time. So it's a thing that like would be really nice to be able to do eventually, but $129 per year, like not even like a 10-year uh, or like a multi-year certificate. So that is something. It's like, all right. So with that, we are gonna start moving into working on this. This feels like really small. What happened? Oh, this is just the reset zoom. Cool. So we can make you a little bit bigger. I'm experimenting with workspaces, so I have like the knowledge wiki, so I can just open that up and either view it or add to it during our streams. So the first thing we want to do is start a brand new like area of the code. So we already have in open up view. We already have a repository for this, but what we don't have is the folder in that repository to start like building out this engine in WebAssembly. So there's some things that we need to learn, sort of like how to do this. Like for example, how we're going to put images on the canvas. I also need to find out how to do images on the canvas, and also how to do sounds. Like sounds would be good too. Are you doing raw WASM, or are you doing something like U or Seed? I didn't really like. I looked really briefly at U. I don't know Seed, and I sort of felt that there's a lot of like overhead for using it, but not very much gain for this specific project. They seem to be web, or at least U. It seems to be like a web server, like a web single page application style generator, or backend or full stack service. Whereas what I really want is just like a single page game, like just it loads up WASM and you play the game on that page, and then you can exit. So I think that's the reason to use raw WASM. Team Griffin used U for his game of life, and it worked out fine. Oh, interesting. I might have to take a look at that. I haven't looked at U at all, but it might have been overkill for his project. Yeah, that's what I would be worried about. Is would it be overkill because it's really meant for some like a single page like full application, and I'm just making a very simple like game. And I don't need like all the other DOM manipulation stuff. I don't need like the two-way data binding that a lot of these frameworks have. I mean, it's basically like pulling in it would be like me pulling in Angular or React or Vue for this. and it's I don't think it's necessary for like those pages for this. So let's see. Builds. The working title for this is Jungle right now. So what I want to do is I want to create a new sub application inside of this. Now inside of our workspace, we had WebAssembly in here, so we can sort of see what was going on. Okay, so for cargo toml, we need wasm bindgen, and we need to do like this type of stuff. But besides that, should be pretty simple. Okay, so we need to do a cargo new to create the actual WebAssembly part of this project. So we can do cargo new. I'm probably gonna be able to remove that GGEZ demo. I don't think I need that anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. It's in like the previous. Yeah, it would be easier if I opened up and mark up view. All right, so we've got you removed. Let's go ahead and cargo new. What do I want to call this? So this is basically going to be like the Pitfall clone, the jungle. So this is going to be, I guess, like game dot just game. CD into there, and that gives us, okay, now we have like our source and cargo toml. So I want to add a folder to the workspace. So specifically you. Oh, new version of Rust Analyzer. Nice. Yeah, so I bet I can I do preview? There we go. This will be a lot easier to sort of read here. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so this is the first thing we need to do is set up our cargo toml for WebAssembly. I guess like right away we want to just get like a hello world going. So got you over there, and over here we're going to open up source cargo.toml. So name, we're going to call this, you know what might be better? Before I go ahead and do this, let's actually undo this. Remove you from the workspace. I changed my mind. Instead of like a subfolder in here, I'm just gonna make it as like the full folder, the full repo. So here's this game. I'm gonna remove game, and then I'm gonna do a cargo init wherever we are, and that sets that up there. So now I can add folder to workspace. And here we go. So I don't have to like have a folder in a folder, essentially. So given us our cargo toml, we open up to the right there. So let's see what we need. Dependencies, so we're gonna need wasm bindgen. Let's see. For the library, we're gonna need these for the. Okay, so we're gonna need lib, the profile release, and all of this stuff. All of you are needed too. Come on. Oh, I somehow switched my. There we go. There we go. All right, so that should set us up to like begin with WASM. Then we're going to be actually like the programming part. So we have, is this in main? Oh, they had this as a library. So we don't want a binary. We want this to be a library. I don't think that's that hard to change. The big thing is that we're going to remove the main. We're going to rename that to live.rs. And don't remember if there's anything else you need to do to like make it be a library. I will just be now. We'll pull up those packages. So if we do that, now inside of here. Okay, so I will need the wasm bind gen. We might as well just start all of you in here. I guess not all of you, all of you. All right, so this gives us alert. Don't need all of this documentation. Okay, so we're basically binding alert, which is from the browser in, so we can call that directly. I don't know if we're gonna need anything like this. Bind gen. And that's just passing in the string. Okay, so I don't need the rest of this right now. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as alert for the hello world part. I didn't put anything for the web part. It's probably be pretty good to use. All right, so was it like wasm pack generator or something like that? I'm not seeing anything besides wasm pack build in my history. So I think it was were we inside source? I don't think we're inside source. So I need to go take a look at that the other repository. All right, cd code. All right, what do we have in here? So in the wasm game of life. Yeah, okay, so here's where we have just dub straight up in there. But I don't remember how we got dub. Inside dub, we have this bootstrap.js. So curious about this. We cat bootstrap.js. It's just really this simple import. Okay, so import index.js catch. Okay, so basically it's just a simple. So we need bootstrap.js. We have a dist folder, an index.html, and an index.js. The index.js, I believe, or the index.html pulls in Bootstrap, I think. And Bootstrap pulls in index.js. So yeah, so here's script source Bootstrap.js. Okay. And then a Webpack config and a package JSON. So those, we take a look at JSON. Yeah, so it's using like whatever local version of Webpack is installed and what the config that we have set up for that. Okay, that shouldn't be too terribly hard. So what that means is we need a very basic index.html. So let's see, in the source here, it's not in the source. It's okay. We created like a dub. So in here, dub. That's a file, not a folder. And inside of dub, we want to create an index.html. And we'll do HTML5 here. Okay, so this is going to be jungle, working title, of course. Now, I don't know if I want to like the view, the width, device width, and all that other fun stuff. I'll have to like also find out exactly what devices they have so I can get the width and the size of it. I'm not planning on making this like I'm not planning on making this work super well with other devices right away. I'm thinking that I'm going to focus on the ones that they have, the one that they're going to play with. All right, so with that done, we want a bootstrap.js in here too. Okay, and so all this is going to do is pull in another file. But before that, we have to, at the bottom of body, script source, it's going to be bootstrap.js. So that pulls that in. We also need a index. So instead of like an index, I wonder if it would be good for us to like have probably just like a main game. So we can have like main.js. Bootstrap is going to, is it import? Yeah, it's just import index.js here. And then they do have a catch. Error importing. Okay, so that's not a big problem. So it looks like it returns a promise. I'm gonna do import. Oh, it's a function. And so we can here do main. They have the entire .js too. I don't know if that's necessary. We're gonna catch, get the error. And if there is an error, we're going to error. We're going to say error importing a game. Okay. So we've got that there. And then in main.js, what I want to do is just a console.log working. Okay. Then, okay. So I don't think this is going to work yet. I think we need the Webpack stuff to get that import to work. But let's try it. Let's see what happens. So if we're going to want Webpack to start to serve it, aren't we? So we are going to have, every time you use cat, a little bit of rust dies. What's the Rust version of cat? I forget. They bat. Can I go search bat? Cat clone with wings. Oh, cool. And there's bats. Printing bats and other things to your terminal. Okay, so I want to do install bat. I'll be able to use bat. Oh, and it has a syntax highlighter. Okay, so that'll be nice. All right, so then what we want to do is we now want to set up our package.json to have what we need. That will probably come with Webpack. So that way we can do like Webpack start. So while we're waiting for this, let's make sure that we can update this WebAssembly. This is the carbo tamal. Missed here is like the web side. We need like the index.html, the Bootstrap Js, the main.js, package.json. Are you done yet? Nope. Still building. Raven Legend, hello! Okay, so package.json, and of course the Webpack config. So in the browser, create a folder where the web part will live. Okay, so index.html. This obviously. We'll fill this out as soon as we get that working. All right, so we have you all set up. So now we want to bat our package.json. Here we go. Nice, nice. Let's just go ahead and create it. Oh, it's like less. That's what it is. It's more like less. With syntax highlighting, which is really nice. But with those ones there, I can't copy and paste this. Yay, HTML is something you can contribute to. Absolutely. Okay, well, is there... Can I tell it to like just not use the side so I can like copy it easily? Like just basic? Plain. Okay, when you use twice, it also disables automatic pages. So -pp. I want to do that. Okay, so now I can take you, copy you into here. So this is going to be our... So here we need a new file, package.json. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. So name, you're going to be... Oh, interesting. Like a binary. What that's creating. So let's change you all the way around. You're going to be jungle. So version, description. This is a clone of the old Pitfall game. Main. So instead of index.js, this is main.js. So jungle, so binary jungle, scripts. So okay, we're gonna have build, use the Webpack config, so we'll need that too, and start Webpack dev server. That means we need both these installed, but they should be both in here in the dev dependencies. Repository. Okay, so we have, this is all, this is not all set up properly. So what are you? this is the URL. So it's close. You just want U and then the dot get at the end. That should be fine. Keywords: WebAssembly, WASM, Rust, Webpack, like game. I guess. Author: Ashley Williams. No. Okay. License: MIT or Apache. Sure. Why not? Why not one or the other? Let's see. Bugs. Oh, the issues. Okay, so here. Homepage. I don't have a homepage for this. I'm gonna skip you. Dev dependencies. Okay, so then this is all the stuff we need. Hello Wasm Pack. I don't think we need Hello Wasm Pack. Webpack, Webpack CLI, Webpack Dev Server, and copy Webpack plugin. Interesting. And then Wasm Game of Life is file package. So I really want you to just be jungle. And that's going /pkg. Replacing main.js value for main variable, does that same function as the import? Does it have the same function as the import code? No. Well, what it does is I think it tells other like services what the main function is, but it's not going to affect my code at all. Maybe like I think maybe like Webpack might look at it, possibly, but like if I deploy this to Heroku or something, it definitely looks at main. That being said, I probably can leave that out and nobody's going to care in this specific case. But I'm gonna have to take a look at what like Webpack's the config is going to be important here too. All right, so we have you. There's no package there. Okay, the package is here. Where does that come from? Oh, is that our... That's what's creating all these WASM files. So I think the build command, the WASM build, I think, would create that. So theoretically, okay. So if we have this the main library. If I cd into this is the wrong one. If I cd into source here. So if we go to source and I do WASM pack build, I think that's going to put it into the package. Yeah, okay, here's your WASM package ready to publish. So if we cd1 out, here is that package. And if we ll the package, there it is. So that's what it brought for us. So if we come back to here, this is where it's really caring about this. File is like one up and then package, and then that's apparently it's going to figure out what to bring in from that. Okay, so next up is our let's see. We need that. And here. So we got our package.json. Our Webpack config is next. Let's take a look at what this is. So we bat config. It's super simple. This is where we're using that copy Webpack plugin. Okay, so it's being told that it's Bootstrap.js that it's pulling in. So it's not looking at that main file inside of package.json at all. It just doesn't care. We're just explicitly telling it, go Bootstrap. It's the basic. Also, not to be confused with Bootstrap JS. It has nothing to do with that. As in, does import main.js do the same thing as main equals main.js print main.js? Import, I think, does some other stuff behind the scenes, but I don't know all the things that it does. I haven't really been paying attention to the like the latest in the module management. I think import is basically the front end version of like require. So it's gonna like pull the contents of that file in and make it available to the scope of that file. But beyond then, I don't exactly know how it does that. I think it also does it asynchronously, which is interesting. Okay, so mode and development. Okay, so we'll need to change this to production when we want it to be. Plugins. Okay, this seems all fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do our bat. And we're going to copy this over. So you need to be webpack.config.js. So inside of here, webpack.config.js, you go in here. So pull in Bootstrap. We have that name the same, so it's fine. Dist is going to be where it puts the built files. It's going to create a new directory for us. Development mode is fine, and index to HTML is, we're going to copy that into dist. And serve the entire thing up on port 8082. Okay, so we've got that going for us. Now we should be able to npm install. And if we take a look at our package.json, we're going to run script start. npm run. Oh, that's great. Already starting with 6 high vulnerabilities. Npm run start. Okay, so that's compiled and theoretically running on port 8082. So now over here, host 8082. Oh, cool, you're cached. You're not, okay. Wait a second, I ran in a wrong directory. This is the Webpack. I need this one. Haha, oops. npm install over here. Oh, I need to do that. I was in the wrong, okay, so remove the package.lock JSON. You don't need to be there. Where are we? We're going to jungle. Oh, interesting. Did I? So we're in jungle. Oh, source dub. I don't want that at all. So I don't see a package. So I want you out here, I think. So dub. Okay, so first of all, we did the wrong wasm pack build thing. So let's come back to do a wasmpack build here. There's our package now. Okay, apparently I don't need to be in like that exact directory. I could be in www accident. That's fine. So we go to www, and here we need an npm install. Once we npm install, we could run Webpack, like the npm run start. We'd be creating your own server. I don't think I need to. What I'm going to be doing is taking this and deploying it to S3, and S3 will be my server for it. The idea is that I just want to give like a link that you can just put a bookmark into, and then you just press that, and bam, you're playing your games. This is better. Zero vulnerabilities. That's what I wanted to see. I was a little bit confused about that for a second. Okay, so we've got that running. Let's now do an npm run start. Let's see if this runs. Okay, so it's running on 8082. So I can come back here, hit refresh, and we have this working right here. You're yelling at me about WebSockets. I'm not. But the working is really important. So then I want to, in our index. Our main.js, we have working. So we know that's working. Let's go ahead and import. What was it? It was like star as wasm from. Did we just call this jungle? And now can we do wasm dot? Then we're going to have our main lib. This is going to be alert the page. And pass in testing. So if I do that, hey, look at that. We get testing. And so just to verify that it really is this thing, let's put in a bunch of other stuff, and we've got it. So Wasm is now set up, and we've got that connected between our browser and here. So that's a really good sign. So if I wanted to, I don't know if I want to like do everything controlled through Rust with this. We'll have to sort of like play around with what we can do inside of the Wasm bindgen Rust files. But what I'm thinking of is we can get rid of our import. Our alert. We're going to want something like a setup, and then we're going to want to start our loop. Inside of our loop, we're going to want to inside of the loop, we're going to want to run the update and draw, and then sort of like reset for this. So I guess the first thing that I want to do is set up a loop that is stable to like a certain number of frames per second. So we're going to want maybe like a config. So we want our config file. We learned that lesson the hard way with previous games. So I'm going to create inside of www. We're going to create a config.json. So in here we could just put in like anything about the game that we want. So have game, and this can be. I don't know if I need like the game stuff. Maybe we don't. It should be now easier for us to deal with this because we're working with JavaScript. So in this case, we're going to do FPS, so our target frames per second. Target FPS, you are going to be let's say 30 for right now. I think I want to stay with something super low. First of all, they're not going to notice if it's like the difference between 60 and 30 frames per second. Also, we're recreating a very old arcade game, which like I don't know if they were set to. Well, Pitfall I don't think was ever an arcade game. I think it was always a console game, and those old TVs were like 29 frames per second at most. Um, like it was only recently that consoles got to 60 plus frames per second. So if we do this, if our target frames per second is going to be 30, we should be able to in main pull in config.json. So we'll be able to do import config from config.json. Now I should be able to like console log what that target FPS is. Let's just do that right up here. The editor knows what that is. That's a good sign. And so here we have 30 already. And having this like auto update for us, auto live refresh, is the best thing ever. And I don't have to do anything. We just get that for free. So what I want to do is we want to have a function, our like main loop. I don't think I necessarily need to pull anything in for this. I don't need any of you. And our main loop is going to be called by the set get animation. The get animation frame. What is that called? Oh, request. Is it request? Let's see. Animation frame. I don't remember what it's called. Like animations frame web request animation frame. Windows request animation frame. That sounds about right. Let's go to MDN for it. Tells the browser that you wish to perform an animation and request the browser calls a specified function to update an animation before the next repaint. You should call this method whenever you're ready to update your animation on screen. This will request your animation function be called before the browser performs the next repaint. The number of callbacks is usually 60 times per second, but will generally match the display refresh rate in most browsers as per W3C recommendations. Okay, so it's actually going to be 60 frames per second or whatever their device can handle. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So I want to how do we use this? Okay, so request animation frame is basically for each step of it. And then that's going to be part of our infinite loop. So at the end of our loop, we recall request animation frame, and then step is the function step. Okay. So we're gonna have this main loop. So at the end of this, we're gonna have a. So this one is window.request animation frame. So I should just build a call request animation frame, and pass in loop. And then in here, we start the entire thing off with a request animation frame loop. So to verify that this is working, and whatever our like frames per second are, I can maybe calculate, like if I create an array, so let's do like let FPSs. That's an array. I want to start a timer at the beginning. At the beginning of the loop, and start a timer at the end. Is that how I'm gonna do it? So like let start equals date.now. That will give me a the number of milliseconds since the epoch. And then at the very end of this like starts over, so nothing after this is gonna run. How am I gonna calculate that? So we keep on getting like the starts. We can get maybe now at the beginning and subtract them, and that gives me, this is gonna be how long each frame is. But if I want, like, okay, it hit the loop, every time it hits the loop, I want to record how long it was. Like every second, I want to record how long, how many times this is happening. Do I want to do something really kludgy? I want the delta for each tick. Yeah, that's it. I want the delta for each tick. I'm not sure exactly how I want to get that. I've never looked at like how like the other game engines calculate that. I could do something really kludgy. I can say like let like steps equals 0, and so every time that we have a loop, we're going to steps plus equals 1. And then I want to also start here and do set interval. We're gonna do FPS dot push steps, and then steps equals 0, and do this every 1 second. So then we can maybe see how many steps per second that we're getting, and then we're just starting this at the beginning of this of the function. Thinking init, start outside the loop, then calculate the delta at the top of the loop and update start time. Probably. I wonder if this is gonna like be terrible. Okay, so if I do this, I don't know if there's gonna be an easy way for me to get access to FPS. Oh, you started doing that before I typed the interval stuff. I still don't know. this is not calculating the delta. This is just calculating the number of times. So if it like get like 60, 60, 60, then that's a great and all. And so I guess at the beginning of each loop, I want to console.log FPS. Just sort of like see that grow. So back to here. Oh, look at that. So it had a ramp up time. It starts with 1 frame per second, 1 frame per second, 38 frames, and then solidly on 60. Interesting. Okay. So we're gonna hit 60 frames per second and it's gonna stick there if it can. Set interval runs once before hitting the timer. Okay, so that makes sense. So it hits this. The 38 is then we have 1 and 38. But then after that, it's all 60. Okay. Interesting. So I don't need you anymore. Now we know it's going to be set to 60 frames per second if possible. We don't have to do any times to like limit it to 60 frames per second. That's just what we're going to be hitting on. That's fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, so for our setup, we want to create our canvas and have that ready for us. So what we can do is inside of index.html, we can have a canvas, like a tag that's our canvas. So we can maybe do just like a main. And instead of main.js, we want to set our canvas equals a document.query selector main. Okay, so that gives us our now canvas DOM element. So if I want to, this goes into main loop section. I need to set like what the size of this canvas is, don't I? I've not played with canvas very much. Let's go take a look at MDN canvas. Okay, so we can do canvas.getContext 2D. And then we can basically create a rectangle and fill that in wherever we want. I don't think we're going to use too much of rectangles and other things because a lot of what we're going to really do is images, just like placing sprite images down. So we shouldn't have to worry about like drawing randomly. But let's actually try running this. So we're going to do canvas.getContext. So actually going to everybody in the same side. All right, so in our setup, we have our canvas. We have a context equals canvas get context 2D. Mir Klemp, hello. When should you use TypeScript? I mean, when you want to use TypeScript. I'm not planning on having any of the logic part in the web side of this, so I don't really think that pulling in TypeScript for this application is really going to be useful for me. I think like wherever the main logic is, that's where TypeScript is going to be really helpful. Now, the other side is if you really like JavaScript as it is and you don't like TypeScript, obviously you don't need to use it. However, I found that with larger teams, it's really helpful. The more people on a developer project, the more helpful TypeScript is. So at work, I would highly recommend it if you were on a team. And that's like pretty much the two rules is do you want type safety? Use it. Do you work with other people? Use it. All right, so we have our context. Now we can do this fill style. So we have in the game loop, we're gonna have update and our draw stuff. Let's actually create functions for this. So we're gonna have a function. Right now we're just gonna have a draw. So down here, we're gonna call draw. Every single frame. You need to go at the end. And inside of our draw, we need to get this canvas, this context. Well, it's available here. It's sort of like global to this file. So far, that's not necessarily a problem, but let's sort of see what we have here. We're going to do context.fill style. Oh, fill style is just a property. Interesting. Context.fill rect. Okay, so we're going to start 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 150 width, and 100 height. And so if we do that, back to here, error. Okay, canvas.getContext is not a function. Okay, so that was, oh, because you need to be a canvas. Hold on. You need to be a canvas. That's our problem. Not main. We need a canvas like that. Then in our main.js, query selector, get canvas. Then it works, and here's our square. I'm at 300% zoom. So if I reset that, that's what that ends up looking like. Now, how do I do like the background? I would love to like fill in the background of this to sort of like see what is the size that we're working with, or maybe like a border. So there's a canvas. Okay, canvas handbook. That might be helpful. Oh wow. That static square at 60 frames per second. I know. It's the best. Okay, so if I want to draw. Okay, so we can get the width and the height. Okay, so we can do canvas.height, canvas.width. We can set the font. Wait, where did it create the border? Oh, here. They added that as a style in a border. Okay. Is there like a background? Not that. Oh, that's literally the only time that background is set. Okay. I think there's a way to like. What's the API for it? Basic setup. Okay, then there's the fill style for that, but I really want to. Oh, okay. So if I want to set like the width and a height. Or if we want to get the width and a height. So I guess that's two properties, width and height. So I can, if we want to create this square here, we can maybe for setup do const the width is going to be canvas dot width const height equals canvas dot height, and we can now make you width wise. So start at 0. So 0x and 0y, go width, go height. Really, that's the entire width and the height of this. Oh, interesting, fascinating. So if I actually want to in setup console log width and height, we can see that it's only 300 by 150. Now, can I change that in style sheet? So can I basically create a style, and we're gonna say canvas. I want you to have a width of 100 view width, a height of 100 view height. Yeah, take a look at this. So it goes up and down. There's a margin border around this, so I would want to also do something like star. We're gonna have margin 0 and padding 0 to get rid of that. This is still also like slightly less filled of what we want. So if I want this to be something like 16 by, if I want to be able to control exactly what this is. So let's say, do I know what size devices that we're working with here? Where can I go? Okay, so I want, let's say that they have an iPhone, I don't know, iPhone 6, 7, or 8. We're going to have them flip it on the side so they can play it that way. We know that this is going to be 736 by 414. So I can actually say this canvas width, you're going to be 736 pixels by 414 pixels. Interesting. That gave me a scroll bar up and down. I don't want that. So then I probably want you to be the left and right seems to be fine. There's no scroll bar left and right, just up and down. So maybe 400. See that's so close. 410, 413, 412, 411. 410 gives me no scrolling up and down. So okay, that's fun. So we can do based upon this. We can zoom in. So we can now it looks like what it's gonna look like. And so then I want the background of this to be well, I don't know, we're gonna have like a background image that's gonna display. So I probably want to have just like a background color. So we can do body tag. We're gonna have a background color of black, which means that I'm not gonna need you to do this rectangle. Now this is gonna be our canvas, our world here. Now I'm not drawing anything to it, and there's a clear function, I think. I can do like a context.clear. Oh, and so I can clear very specific sections of the screen to be whatever I want. So I can do things like have like create the trees or anything else. So if the first thing they want to do is create like a character that we can move around the screen. So let's say we want to create like a character type person here. I would need some kind of like image for that. I do have an image of a character somewhere that I can use. Let's see if I can find assets. Assets, PNG. Do I have anything that's just like a single? It's like enemies walk. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I can choose. Okay, let's choose one of these. Here we go. We can have a nice little. Oh god, that's so huge. We can have a penguin. So I can. Yes, download you and throw you into. So I don't need to be workspace. So Brooks builds jungle. Dub. So we're gonna want to. I'll throw it into here for right now. And we'll see that that's now available. Wait. Where'd it go? Did I not save it? I don't see it. What happened? Try it again. Download to. Oh, Brooks builds jungle dub. Brooks builds jungle dub. Need to refresh. Okay, so there we are. The giant penguin. So if I want to place load this image and place it in, I would probably no doubt want to actually convert this image to a better size at first. I'm curious if I can scale with the canvas here. So we're gonna come back to here, open up main. So in our setup, we're gonna load up our main character image. Lord Mist, hello. So if we do const image, why are you doing WASM now? That may actually get you some performance problems. So I have to do WASM because I can't I can't code sign the project in order to like get anything installed onto my parents' computer without potentially sacrificing security for them down the line. And I don't want to like teach them. I don't have to code sign it. I think I do because Norton is auto deleting anything that's not code signed for them. Plus, I would have to teach them how to like get around Windows saying, "Hey, this isn't code signed. You shouldn't open it. Do you really want to like open it?" I don't want them getting used to uh, having to do that. Norton is nonsense, anyways. Maybe it is, but it doesn't mean that they're not using it. And so I have to deal with what I have. So, all right. If we want image, want a new image. Width and height I can set. I'm really curious if I set to be whatever I want it to be, will it actually just choose this, or do I have to give it like the full actual width and height? View original. View image info. Okay, you're 512 by 512. Really? Okay, that doesn't seem too terribly big. So you're 512 by 512. Equals an image. Then I want to do image dot source is equal to, and so this is where I do obg037.png. Okay, and then theoretically, I should be able to just gotta tell them that Microsoft wants to get everyone's money by not letting anyone who isn't paying them each year run apps on their OS. The biggest thing for this is that I need to pay someone else, not Microsoft. It's the certificate creators that get to make money from that, and Microsoft isn't in the business of providing the certificates, so it's actually somebody else I have to pay. Microsoft has what it looks like to be, well, Linux is the best, but Microsoft has much more generous developer program. It's $20 for lifetime developer access, and then you don't have to renew that every year. That's a lot cheaper than Apple, which is like $100 per year. Okay, so in draw, I want to do a context dot image. I want to load an image up now. I want to open the image through the canvas. That's state. I also find it hard to believe that Norton just yoinks everything that isn't signed. I mean, from what I can tell, that's what it's doing. It's like, this is potentially dangerous. We've auto-deleted it for you. Okay, so we create a new image, context.draw image. Okay, so that's what we want. So context.draw image. We're gonna put in our image here. We can give it like a 0, and our width and the height. So if I say something like 50 and 50, let's see what happens. Assuming that everything unsigned is dangerous is such a stupid preconception, it makes you angry. I don't disagree. Like, I think that it is not the best idea. Okay, yeah, so this scaled it down. So we have our little face here. So I can now set this to be something like 10 by 10. And there we go. Now it's in the upper left corner. Now, so if I want to create our like main user, which is like a game object, and I want to put that in the like down at the let's create like a floor. So what we want here is config.json. If I wanted to do something like the main like the world background, so I want, I guess, like the overworld floor. So let's do something like overworld. Do you even need the target FPS? No, I don't. I don't need that anymore. You're right. Where am I grabbing that from? Am I even grabbing it? I don't even see where I'm grabbing that from. How do you error out? Oh, because config.json is not valid JSON. Cool. So overworld, and we're gonna have like the floor of the overworld. I want this to be something like 300 pixels down from the top, like floor X. Is like 300 pixels, and of course the width is the full width. So now if I do that, we have our config. If I want to draw the floor, so how do I do that? And on top of that, can I like pass draw image into, I don't think I can pass like context into Rust, can I? It's like if we do what is it? It's our cargo.toml. We have wasm bindgen. If I do wrong one, live.rs. Okay, so if I want a, what would this be? Canvas? Oh, there's nothing in here. Would it be, is there documentation for it elsewhere? Like maybe in the web page? So canvas. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so we're able to get the canvas out of here. I believe you have to create a JS function you want to pass to Wasm. This is really interesting how it's like able to get like document in here. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty crazy. So if I want to do this exact same thing where I'm printing this little guy right there in Wasm, This seems... This is all that I have. Okay, so there's this prelude in JS cast. I'm wondering if that's like doing some special stuff for us here. Oh man, this is even getting... This is even doing all of... where's my main? All of this stuff is being done right here. Like everything that I have in here. So if we go back to like our main library. Wasm bindgen start. Interesting. Wonder why it's named that. Okay, so if I do, I'm not going to do alert the page. We don't need alert here. We're going to have wasm bindgen pub function. Let's just do like our run test here. So we're going to need all of this stuff to get the canvas. Wow. Okay, so that document equals websys. It doesn't know what that is. Window unwrap document unwrap. Okay, it's not yelling at me yet. That doesn't really mean much. Okay, then we have our canvas. So we want that canvas. Of course, that doesn't mean it's working. It just might mean Rust Analyzer is just upset. Equals, okay, so document. Can I do query selector? And then here we're going to pass in canvas. Unwrap. Weird. Okay, then a shadow canvas with this crazy type, HTML canvas element equals canvas dot dine into. So then when we convert this, then we have to get the context. Let's just see if I do all of you. There's no errors in here. I'm certainly gonna need this. So I have the wasm bindgen prelude. Rust Analyzer is not having any of this. Okay, so this is start that we're running here. So let's go ahead and back out to here. I want to okay, so documents, good builds jungle. We're gonna do a pack build. All right, so failed to resolve use of undeclared type module websys. So where are you expecting websys to come from? Dependencies websys. Oh, okay, so we need this. Interesting. And JS sys. Okay. We're going to toml. let's put this in the dependencies section here. We also need JSS. You don't even know what version to use, so we'll just use this. I have a bad feeling about this now. Okay. Nothing's working anymore. Quebec's ball. Oh my god, that's terrible pronunciation. I'm so sorry, but you're rating with a party of 38. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How was your stream? It compiled. Oh my gosh. We are so we are experimenting with WebAssembly and building a game with WebAssembly, and we just discovered that potentially we can run all of our stuff inside of Rust, which might be really cool. That actually compiled, so we have now this run function here. So theoretically, in our main.js, we can now call, instead of like any of this stuff in our main loop, we just want to call none of this. Like, we don't want to do any of you. We just want to do wasm.run. Oh, and I probably want to like not have everything background black. So remove you. Okay, that didn't. We have an error. We're gonna have to figure out that error later. But until then, we've got Raven Legend is redeemed. Play the Get the Streamer game. So let's go ahead and do that. She was pretty okay. Implemented and threw away a full reload system. Oh no. Well, that throwing away code never feels that great. But I guess like hopefully there's some learning there. We have a game that we've made on stream a while ago. Let's go find the code for this. Oh, it needs to be, yep, that's the correct one. We're gonna go into documents, code. I need to create like a yes, it is the rubber duck that Valerie gave me as like part of so Valerie, inside joke, inside a story. Valerie was one of the, when I was teaching at a code school, Valerie was one of the associate instructors. I guess not. She was a resident instructor that we had with us. And at the end of her time before she got a real programming job, she gave us all little duckies. Got to run off. Have a great stream. Thank you, Kebab Skull. Hope you have a great rest of your day. For everyone else who's joined us, we're going to go ahead and do, where is it? Workspace, streamer game, cargo, run. It's not very big. If I over here, it's this size. It's just really close to the camera because Zilby, our little kitty cat, is not in the room. So I figured, oh, we'll just put this here in front of the camera instead. Okay, so release mode. All right, so everyone who is here, the way that we're playing this game is inside of chat. You're gonna put in commands to drop things. Now you have to figure out, is the deck small or is it looks like 20 feet tall? For AG2, hello. I'm surprised this needs to be recompiled like this. I thought everything was already compiled for release mode. I guess not. I wonder if like it's a new versions of some of the stuff got installed. I'm on the Windows side, so there is that. Oh, I switched Rust versions. That is it. I did switch Rust versions. Anyways, this was made all in Rust. We made it live on stream here. It's going to be an arena system where I'm going to be on the bottom, moving back and forth, jumping around, trying to avoid all the things you're dropping. And so all the stuff here on the right, you can drop at me. I'm going to try to avoid it for 2 minutes. We'll see how far we can get. What are you guys into exactly? I make a lot of games on this stream, or do at least a lot of Rust programming. And but yeah, this is the game that we made. Am I getting better at it, or nope? Oh my god. I'll take the hearts. And try not to run into fire. Oh, and the swords. Oh, really? Oh, come on. I mean, I made this game. I should know how hard it is and how not. Oh, now not. Oh my. Okay. You won. And Chantilly Cake with 76 points as the high. So anyways, that was the last game that we made. It's a lot of fun to play. It was a lot of fun to make. The next game that we're working on is a WebAssembly game that I'm making for my dad. It's gonna be a Pitfall clone, and we're just starting out with it. We just sort of like figured out that we need to use WebAssembly for this, because I tried to like get them to launch an executable on their Windows computer, and Norton Antivirus is deleting it because it's not code signed. So that's fun. And Windows 10 added all of those restrictions in, it seems. Any chance to view the stream again, maybe on YouTube? Absolutely, yes. I do have a YouTube. Do I have it down? I think I have like a link down below on my in like the stream description, but let me go find it here. If we go to builds, Raven Legend, you already beat me to it. Thank you so much. And I am creating like I think I get like 14 days. The VOD's gonna stay up, but I'm creating archives of them in YouTube, so they stay up for as long as Twitch is allowing them to stay up. So you can watch the VODs here, or on YouTube. All right. Now that being said, it is 8:42, and I do have to go and like run to work. Usually I end around 8:30, but we were getting really excited about like discovering that we can actually potentially do a lot of the context, like the canvas manipulation in Rust. That like it didn't work the first try, but we're gonna figure that out. So tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, I'm gonna be back here. 7 a.m. Mountain Time in the mornings is when I usually start streaming, Monday through Friday, and we're gonna figure out what we can do in Rust and the canvas. Yep, coded in Rust. So WebAssembly in with Rust, and like mostly in Rust. Yeah. Anyways, so if you want to like keep up to date with get notifications, follow me here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. I have links down below. Or you can join Discord. And wait, Peyton, what happened? What link did you try to send out? Nightbot, what did you do? Show me what you did. Oh, okay. You tried to show me a web cache. Oh, interesting. I will take a look at that in a bit. I'm gonna stir that off and save it. I don't know if I can save. Oh, that when I loaded that up, it didn't It didn't show me anything. Let me try the West Wasm. No, I got a 404. That didn't work. You'll put it in Discord? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I do have a Discord link. Oh, you found it for AG2. So with that, is there anybody in the Rust team that's streaming? Oh, Togglebit is streaming. Let's go ahead and do a raid on Togglebit. Let me go ahead and open that up here. There is a Rustations team in case you want to follow along all the different Rust developers who are programming. I really don't like the fact that I can't actually like see like go to their page from here to like get into their chat. That seems not all that great. All right, so view raid channel, log a bit, start that raid. All right, so I'll go over here also. Turn off the music. I can listen to this after the advertisement is done on this other browser. All right, everybody. I'm going to switch over. Isn't Docs.rs whitelisted? It was. But for some reason, that link came through as like a Google cache page. So I can't, here, I'll show you what, this is the link that actually was, but it was like a Google cache wrapped around it. And then when I tried to open up this one, it was a 404 page. So I don't know. Off that, we'll take a look at that that Discord one later. Okay, so we got all that ready. We're gonna go. I'm gonna switch over to the ending screen. All right, again, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you again for coming with that raid. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, where we're going to continue on with some WebAssembly game dev fun. So with that, have fun. Bye.
Hold that much value. I would like there to be